Hi everyone, welcome back. I am Sandeep Ranjan. In this CLO tutorial video, today you will learn how to use cloning option. So here is my pattern and this template will be available in the description so that you can download and you can practice. So let's get started with the tutorial video. So in this tutorial video, first of all we will see like how to create a clone of a shape. So let's say here is my pocket and I will just right click on the pocket option and then we can see here clone as pattern. So we can just create a clone as pattern of any shape available. So here is the pocket shape and now we will change the fabric for this particular pocket. Now here we can see the fabric is applied on this particular pocket and now we have to select our edit texture option. So we have here certain options available where you will find edit texture. So once you will click on this, then you can see the grain line and you have to just select the grain line and do right click and then after that align grain line parallel to the selected. So my grain line and this is the line according to which I want it to applied. So as I have selected this particular side line, you can see grain line changed. I will show you once again. So first of all we have to select the grain line and after that we have to right click and then we have to apply align grain parallel to selected. So we have to select the line according to which we want grain line to be applied. Now it is done. So our pocket is here ready as pattern and now we have to stitch it over here. So for that we will go to our free sewing tool and then we will start stitching all the side of the pocket on our pattern. You have to just hover it accordingly from point to point and now you can see like here also in this our 3D window our pocket option is ready to stitch with the garment panel piece. So now we have to superimpose this particular thing. Instead of doing simulation, we will just select this pocket and then we'll do right click and then we have superimpose over. Once we will click on superimpose over, now you can see here my pocket, it is attached and here you will find some gap as well. I will zoom it for you so that like you can see like my pocket pattern is not completely stitched fully on the garment, it is having some gap over here. So this is how you attach pocket. Now we will learn how to create a pattern piece with the shape. So here is my heart shape and I want to bring it over here in this particular pattern. So I will do right click and after that we'll select clone as internal shape and then I will bring it on my garment panel area and now we will stitch it. So for stitching we have to go to the free sewing and then we have to do double click over here and after that again we'll do double click at this particular place. Now we can see it is ready to stitch. So now again we have to select this particular like heart shape and then we will click on superimpose over. So once we will click on superimpose over, now we can see here my heart shape is stitched. If suppose you are not getting properly, then you can just click on simulation once and after that again you can just drop it once again. So now here my heart shape is available on this particular garment. So now you can see that this heart shape is stitched onto the garment panel. As my pattern is symmetrical, so we can see the shape, the outline of the pattern is available on another side also, but I can hide my this internal lines just by clicking on this particular option, and then you can see like now here our garment view fully, as like some sort of fold is here available. So I will just select this particular shade, and after that I will click over here fold rendering on to off. Then you can find here changes. I will show you here once again. If I click it on, then you can see the shape here, the shape of the pocket. But as we select this particular pattern and we just click over here fold rendering on to off, then my this line is gone completely. So it will help you while working. Alright, so now we are going to stitch this particular neckband with our garment panel section. So here in this particular neckband, this is my center front and this is my center back. So I will be stitching it accordingly. So now first of all, let's select free sewing tool, and after that we'll start from center front to center back, and then we'll press shift, and similar way we'll apply onto the garment as well. And now we have to apply same thing on our back section. Like we have to start from top point and then we will go to the midpoint. So now here you can see like my neckband is ready to stitch, and now at the same time we have to close the side of the neckband as well. So again we will select the free sewing tool, and we will just start from here, and then we have to close the back side. Now after this we will select our neckband panel with the help of pressing shift, another side as well, and then we'll right click and then superimpose side. And now you can see that this particular garment panel is here applied. We will just do simulation over here. So now here you can see like neckband is fully attached with our garment panel area. Alright, so now we are going to stitch this particular panel with our sleeve section. So let's start stitching it. So for that we will select our free sewing tool. We will start from the end point, then we will go to the midpoint, and same way we have to apply on our garment panel. Now we have to stitch another side. And same manner we have to finish it here. So now we can see in this 3D window that my garment is ready to stitch. So we'll select this particular option, do right click and superimpose side. Once you will do superimpose side, then you can see that my sleeve panel is completely stitched and aligned in this particular 3D window. So we have to bring another side as well. So we have to just click on this, do right click and click on this particular option, symmetric pattern with sewing. So as you will click symmetric pattern with sewing, so now it is here ready. You have to just click at a place. It is here ready to stitch. So just you have to do right click and superimpose side. It will get stitched accordingly. So now here my another panel, another side is also stitched. If you want to see full complete set of pattern which is applied, you can do simulate, and after simulation you can see that my garment is ready over here. Now we are going to see how to create hole in the garment panels area. So we have certain designs available over here. We will just select this portion, and when we will do right click, then we can find over here convert to hole. So now here you can see the hole is done, and same is done on our garment panel also. Now this thing which you can see, that is just like a particle distance. So now to get a proper resolution, we will just edit it, and we will change it to 7. Now once my resolution is increased, again we will change it to same as it was earlier. So now to select all the designs, first of all we will just do right click and we will lock all the pattern outlines. So now my pattern outline is locked. Now we will select all this particular shape. Again we have to select all the garment panel section all together. Then we will do right click and will convert to whole. So now my whole is here, done. Same thing we will do our back side as well. So we have to just right click and convert to whole. So similar thing you can find here, whole is done in the garment panel section in all the side, front as well as back. Next we are going to see here how to use our trace tool to extract some pattern from some shape. Alright, so now first of all again we are going to just do right click and unlock all the patterns so that we can work together. So here we have to select the trace tool. Now here we can see this particular shape is not joined with this line. So now in this case, if suppose I am selecting this particular section and I am doing right click, it is not showing here anything where we can extract it as a pattern. So for that we have to trace it. So we have to select the panel section where we want to just get this particular shape. And let's zoom to see this particular side as well. Now we will do right click and trace as pattern. So here you can see my pattern piece is ready. Now let's apply fabric onto this particular shape. Now we are going to create a copy of this particular pattern. So just you can say copy and then you can have paste. I will just keep it somewhere here. Now we are going to sew this particular pattern piece with this garment. So for that, let's go to free sewing tool which is available over here. First of all, we'll stitch the inside panel. And then we are going to stitch the side panel. Now we can see over here in our 3D window that the panel section is ready to stitch. So now we will select this particular section, right click, and this time I am going to superimpose under inside. It will go inside so that we can create pocket accordingly. Now once this particular panel is stitched with this particular section, garment panel area, so now let's see where is my sewing, and we can delete this particular sewing section, and after that also if we select this particular shape, the line, we can delete this. Our panel section is stitched inside. I will show you let me first of all hide this particular avatar. And now let me hide this particular garment panel. Now here you can see the panel which is stitched inside. Now we'll bring our avatar as well. So now to create our pocket, as we have stitched here panel with our garment, so again we are going to stitch this particular panel section on our pocket piece. So for this we will select free sewing and let's start stitching this particular section. So we have to just apply it accordingly. Same way we have to apply here as well. And after that we will lock this particular side. Now just let's select this particular pattern piece, do the right click and superimpose under. So it is gone inside with our another panel. So now to create pocket we have to make certain changes. Now we are going to see how to create the pocket back completely, as our this both the panel is stitched under the panel of the garment. So now first of all let's click on the sewing tool and we will just remove the side seam sewing so that we can stitch it accordingly, and we will also remove this particular sewing section of the side seam which will get locked with the back panel area. So let's delete that as well. So we have already this particular section is stitched on the garment section. So we have the guideline. So now let's go to our free sewing tool and let's start stitching it, and same way we will click on this particular back section. Now again we have to just select our sewing and do right click so that you can reverse the sewing so that it should go accordingly, and then again we will start sewing. Now here we will just close this particular back panel with our pocket. Now once it is done, then we will close our lower section of. So here now every sewing is applied, so just we have to do simulate, and after simulation now you can find here pocket is ready. You can check. So this is how we make pocket. Okay, so as we can see, like my one side pocket is ready. So as we have to create another side as well, so we will select both the pocket all together and then we'll do right click, and for easiest method we will select our here symmetric pattern with sewing. So now here we can just place it and just will drop it there, and in this our 3D window now you can see that pocket is here ready. So we will just place it inside, and let's just turn it and let's see where the alignment is gone, and from here also we'll move it a little bit inside. Alright, so now we will do simulation, and after simulation you can see here pocket is ready. Okay, so next we are going to see there are some design on our back panel, heart shape. So let's go to the pattern. So in this particular place we will make some changes. So first of all let's understand about this particular shape. So here we can see that my shape is not fully joined, and in this case if we will do right click, then we are not getting offset as pattern. Okay, so now first of all let's move this particular design little bit further, and then after that we will just close this particular line so that we can create it as a pattern. Now we will just take a polygon shape or internal line, and then after that we will just lock from this point to this point. So once we have drawn this particular line, then we will select over here both the points, and then we'll do right click and join overlapping points. And similar way at the bottom corner also we have to join overlapping points. Alright, so now this particular shape is fully done, and just we have to align it on our pattern piece. So we'll just move it further. Now my heart shape is ready, and from here we have to just select this particular piece and then clone as pattern. So it will be coming here as clone as pattern. We can place it at this particular option, and now we have to select this particular side and then click. We have to do unfold. So once unfold is done, then we will apply again fabric. We have to select the shape and then we have to apply the fabric onto that, and after this we will start stitching. So let's go to the free sewing. Just move your mouse onto this particular panel section and then here. So the same is now ready to stitch, and then we will go in our 3 window panel section. And then we will select this particular design and we'll do right click, superimpose over. So now you can see that particular heart shape is here stitched on our backside panel. Alright, so now similar way we will just select this particular pattern piece which is designed over here, heart shape. We'll do right click, we'll clone as pattern. You guys can practice with this so that you can learn accordingly. Now again we will go to object browser, and as this particular pattern is selected, and will apply the fabric, and now just we have to do stitching. So for stitching we will go our freehand stitching. We will just do double click. We have to be very careful when we are doing double click for the stitch, because if we are not clicking on the point, then it will go somewhere outside. Similar way we have to stitch over here. So we have to be careful when we are just applying this particular freehand stitching. So now, or if suppose if you are not getting that particular option properly, double click, then you can just drag your free stitching onto the pattern. So now here we can see it is ready to stitch. So we will select this particular pattern piece, and then just we will do right click and superimpose over, and it will apply accordingly, And so now we have to stitch the same another side. So we have to just select this particular heart shape, we will do copy, and then after that we will do paste. We can paste it another side, and similar way we have to select free sewing tool, then just double click onto that. If you are getting this type of error like continuously, then you can go with the freehand stitching. Just you have to hover your mouse onto the design. And once it is done, then again you can select your panel, do right click and superimpose over. So now you can see in 3D window my both the heart shape is stitched accordingly over to that particular panel. Alright, so now apart from this we have certain here garment panel sections which you can use for your practice purpose. So I am going to just apply over here yoke. So I am just going to trace this particular pattern. Now with the use of trace tool we are going to select these particular lines so that we can create our shape, and then we have to do right click and trace as a pattern. So once you will trace as a pattern, then you can see here my yoke part is ready. And now we don't need this particular line, so we will delete this, and we have to just select this side and we will do unfold. So before that, let's apply our fabric onto this particular panel. So for that we have to go object browser, as already it is selected, so we will just apply the fabric. And now we have to click this particular side and then right click, it will have option of unfold. So once unfold is done, now we will be doing stitching. So let's hide this particular window. We have here free swing tool, we will select the free swing tool. So let's start stitching with the help of shift. Now same way, lock this particular place, apply stitches over here, and then we will sew the top portion. Once it is done, now we can go to our 3D window and we can just select this particular panel and we can do right click and superimpose over, and here you can see the yoke panel is attached on the garment. Similar way you can practice for other side as well, like we have here a section, this particular top section. You can select the trace tool and then you can select these sides. Now we will do right click, again we will select it, now we have to do right click on this and then trace as a pattern. So as we will trace this as a pattern, then you can see like my one panel is here outside ready. Now again we'll change the fabric. So let's select this particular panel and apply fabric onto this, and then we will stitch this particular panel on this section. So for that we will go with our free sewing tool. So let's stitch first of all inside section. With the help of shift, we will start stitching inside. And then we will lock this particular section. Same way we will lock this particular section. And then after that we will close this particular top side. Now here you can see my panel is ready to stitch on the garment. So let's select our panel, do right click and superimpose over. Now here you can see it is applied. Now to get this particular same shape another side, just we have to select this particular pattern, do right click and symmetric with our design, sewing. Now here again this particular panel is ready, so we will just move it to this particular side and then we'll do right click and superimpose over. So now you can see the panel is applied on this particular garment. For better result, you can do simulation so that it will get stitched and it will show you a proper view after stitching how it will look. Alright, so now we are going to create another pattern design with the help of trace tool. So we'll select this particular section. With the help of shift, we will select another line and just we will do right click on the line and then we can see here trace as pattern option is available. We can trace it here. Now we will go to our free sewing. So we'll start stitching for the side. First of all, with the help of shift, we will apply same on our pattern. So now here in this 3D window we can see our panel is ready to stitch. So at the same time we will just select this particular pattern and we'll create a symmetric pattern with sewing. So we have to just place it another side and now it is here ready to stitch, and we will select both the pattern side with the help of shift and we'll apply the fabric onto this And now we can just go to our 3D window. We can select both the shape and then we will do right click and superimpose over.